This man fell in love with a hot dark-skinned woman. Later they posted a photo that changed everything. Wendy Joseph and Dan Hennessy were both young students who wanted to build a name for themselves before becoming social media stars. This was before social media became widely popular, and the two students had never met. However, all of that would change in 2007 when Facebook first started. It was designed solely for college students. Dan was 18 years old and a sophomore in college studying fitness science. Dan had hoped to expand his social circle and meet new friends through the social media site. While searching for new friends, he came across a girl named Daphne that he shared mutual friends with. Unfortunately, after several messages, she never replied. However, when scrolling through her friends list, Dan came across Wendy. Dan found Wendy to be very attractive and knew he wanted to meet her. He messaged Wendy, but because she was new to social media and cautious about meeting strangers online, she decided to consult with her friend Daphne about Dan first. Of course, Daphne had a few things to say. Daphne told Wendy that Dan had also messaged her. Wendy chose not to send Dan back, assuming he was simply a guy trying to meet a few easy gals. She didn't think much of it until Dan messaged her again. Now she was curious about the strange young man. After scrolling through Dan's Facebook page, Wendy realized they had mutual friends. Therefore, she decided to message him back. They soon began having conversations and became friends. At this point, Dan wanted to meet in real life and invited her to a party at his home. The only difficulty was that there would be no actual party. Dan never expected her to accept his offer, which is why there was no actual party. However, when she did, he realized he'd have to work to put one together. Fortunately, his friends came to help, and they were able to arrange an amazing party. When Dan and Wendy finally met face to face, they instantly hit it off. They danced all night, and when everyone left, the new friends stayed up for hours talking. However, things wouldn't be love at first sight for the couple. Despite their magnetic chemistry, since Wendy had just broken up with her long-term boyfriend and Dan was still enjoying his bachelor ways, they decided it would be best to remain close friends. However, after 6 months, everything changed. Trying to stay just friends was nearly impossible for Wendy and Dan, both realizing they were in love with each other. They decided to try being in a relationship, and it went well for 7 years. But then Wendy realized something tough. After all that time together, she wasn't sure who she was anymore. She loved Dan but felt like they were too dependent on each other. Wendy knew she had to make a tough choice. She decided to break up with Dan so they could find themselves as individuals. It was a hard decision, but Dan understood and agreed it was best for both of them. So, after 7 years, they went their separate ways. While they were apart, Wendy started her own YouTube channel called Wendy's Curls. She found her passion and got a lot of people interested by giving hairstyling tips and beauty advice. Her channel even caught the eye of her ex-boyfriend, Dan. He watched Wendy's videos and realized he still cared about her. So, they got back together and started a fresh, exciting part of their lives. After they rekindled their relationship, Dan began to appear in Wendy's videos. Soon, the videos began to switch from beauty advice to relationship advice, and the couple started an Instagram account together. As their presence on social media grew, their love grew stronger. Wendy decided to share a picture of her and Dan that showed how they looked when they first met compared to how they look now. She didn't think the photo would get so much attention. But surprisingly, it was shared by news outlets and got over 60,000 likes. Soon, everyone was talking about it, and the post went viral. People were amazed by how the couple seemed to look even younger after 10 years together. It was like they were raging backward. People were curious about their secret to staying so youthful. Little did they know, there wasn't any special secret. The couple always promoted a healthy lifestyle, and fitness was an important part of their lives. They even started their own fitness and coaching company, True For You Fitness. To say their lives were better than ever is an understatement. After 10 years together, the pair just took the next step in their relationship by getting engaged. Dan proposed during a romantic trip to Paris, which they posted on their YouTube channel. Wendy was so overjoyed, she forgot to put on the ring. The next stage of their lives had officially begun. Dan and Wendy decided to fulfill the dream of touring the world after they got engaged. They went to Thailand, Costa Rica, Thailand again, and even Colombia.